Local authorities have been busy busting marijuana growers all across our area. We'll have more on that. Plus, the DuBois County Commissioners have moved ahead with hiring a new director for community corrections, and Samantha Bobbitt talks about the Davies County Wine and Cheese Festival tonight on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We lead off tonight with tragedy. A DuBois County man killed in a car versus motorcycle accident in northern Spencer County. Just after 3 o'clock Central Time yesterday, authorities were called to an area about half a mile east of the intersection of State Roads 62 and 162 near St. Meinrad. Spencer County Coroner Robert Fuller says 47-year-old Joe Smithson of St. Anthony was riding westbound on State Road 62 when he crossed the center line for an unknown reason and hit a small car head-on. A pair of witnesses later told authorities it appeared that Smithson was having mechanical issues with the motorcycle at the time, according to Fuller. Fuller says that Smithson suffered serious head injuries due to blunt force trauma and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Fuller says that Smithson was not wearing a helmet at the time of the crash. No other injuries were reported, though a life flight helicopter from St. Mary's was originally called to the scene and was later sent back. State Road 62 was closed in the area for about 3 hours while the accident was being investigated. Santa Claus Police, the St. Meinrad Fire Department, Spencer County Sheriff's Deputies, the Spencer County Coroner's Office, and Spencer County EMS all assisted. Local authorities have been kept busy of late with marijuana growers. According to DuBois County Deputy Prosecutor Beth Summersheim, about 269 marijuana plants were removed from 3 separate plots within cornfields near Holland yesterday morning. The plants were removed by DuBois County Sheriff's deputies and Indiana State Police troopers. Now, the plants were found during flyovers done by both the Sheriff's Department and State Police. After the land plots were confirmed to have marijuana plants growing on them, Sheriff's deputies and the DuBois County Prosecutor's Office secured a warrant to place surveillance equipment in the area, which allowed authorities to monitor activity. Summersheim says it's all part of the ongoing effort to combat drugs here in DuBois County.
Every person that we take off the street, I feel like it helps and it's a benefit and we are combating the drug problem, but at the same time, once one person's gone, somebody else will inherently pick up the supply. So it's something that we never can really stop. We're going to have to continue on.
Of course, authorities are continuing to investigate the individuals who planted and maintained the 3 plots. Anyone with information is asked to call Narcotics Officer John Anderson at 812-482-3522 or 812-639-9055. Local authorities also took part in Operation Smokeout, which was a multi-agency crackdown on marijuana growth all across southern Indiana. State police say the operation, which ran from August 17th through the 28th, was a collaborative effort with troopers, the Indiana National Guard's Counter-Drug Task Force, the State Department of Natural Resources, and the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, among others. In all, state police say 146 marijuana plots were found, with a total of 4,898 marijuana plants, excluding those that were seized yesterday. Police say the street value of the marijuana was somewhere around $7.5 million. Formal charges have been filed against a Shoals man who stands accused of murder in the deaths of 2 men in northern Martin County last week. According to reports out of Martin County, 33-year-old Nathan Baker of Shoals is facing 7 felony charges in connection with the deaths of 82-year-old Alan Sims and 52-year-old Tom Tharp, both of Shoals. Baker was originally charged with 2 Class A felonies for murder. According to reports, he is also facing a pair of Level 4 felonies for burglary, along with 2 Level 6 felonies for theft and an additional Level 6 felony for auto theft. Now, Martin County Sheriff's deputies and Indiana State Police began their investigation after Tharp was reported missing earlier in the day last Tuesday. Just before 10 o'clock that morning, a deputy went to Sims's property in the 8,000 block of Fred Sims Road in Shoals trying to find Tharp. While looking for Tharp, the deputy found Sims's body in a detached garage with a single gunshot wound to the head. Authorities soon identified Baker as a person of interest, and he was found in Lawrence County last Tuesday afternoon. He was taken into custody following a short pursuit. Tharp's body was found a short time after Baker's arrest during a second search of Sims's property. Tharp also was found with a single gunshot wound to the head. Final approval has been given for the hiring of a new director for DuBois County Community Corrections. Yesterday, the DuBois County Commissioners voted 2-1 to approve the hiring of William Wells as the new director for DCCC. Wells was originally hired back in June but did not start working after the DuBois County Council voted against raising the salary for the director's job back in July. Wells wanted that pay raise so as to avoid taking a pay cut from his most recent job as director of DuBois County Substance Abuse Services. Of course, last week the County Council voted 4-3 in favor of raising the salary. The $5,768 raise will come from a fund that DCCC used to pay an administrative assistant. County Council President Greg Kendall voted for the raise both times. He stated that it comes down to more than just a salary, at least for him.
It's not a matter to me that he's making so much more money than anybody else. It's a matter to me that we need to be bringing some of these people up more in line with his salary instead of bringing his down to where they are. Unfortunately, when you deal with the state funding and the courts, they have a tendency to pay people according to what they pay in the state, not what they're paying in smaller counties. So that's why the people in community corrections, some of them, and in the court systems, make more money than what the people are in the county.
Now, that decision to raise Wells' salary drew the ire of Sheriff Donnie Lampert. At last week's council meeting, Lampert called the decision a major injustice for his department and deputies. He also vowed to continue refiling his budget until more is done to help fund his department. Although the public turnout for recent comprehensive plan meetings in Ferdinand has been low, it's not causing alarm for town officials. Roughly a dozen town residents showed up to the most recent comprehensive plan meeting, which was held last week at the Ferdinand Community Center. That meeting was the fourth one held about a new comprehensive plan, with the three other ones being more small group based. Ferdinand Town Manager Chris James says the silence is probably a good thing.
We're taking that to mean that people are happy with how the last comprehensive plan has worked out, the guideline that we've used for the town, and we're hoping that we can continue that maneuver forward over the next 5 to 10 years.
Meanwhile, James says this comprehensive plan process has been somewhat new to him. He says it's also been a great learning experience.
I'm sort of having my eyes opened more to how the community operates. I've lived in Ferdinand 20 years. I've seen a lot of things, but there's still a lot that is being exposed to me from other people in the public saying, well, what about this topic, or what about that, or how come, or why not? And so it's sort of a daily education process for me.
Of course, the town is looking to put together a framework for the next 5 to 10 years. Ideas from the current comprehensive plan that was adopted back in 2007 will also be incorporated. Some of the new ideas included more affordable housing, jobs for teenagers and everyone in general, adding sidewalks along Main Street, and a future run at the Stellar Communities designation. Now, with the community meetings completed, the next steps fall to the Ferdinand Plan Commission. Town officials say the commission will work with consultant Kathy Kleindorfer to come up with a final proposal. That proposal is expected to come before the Ferdinand Town Council for its approval later this fall. A 31-year-old Western Indiana man accused of intentionally spreading HIV for more than a decade now faces 6 additional charges related to his case. Isaiah Benford of Terre Haute pleaded not guilty back in June to 16 charges, ranging from aggravated battery to battery by bodily waste. Those charges stem from 4 sexual partners who say Benford did not warn them that he was diagnosed with the virus back in 2003. The new charges are the result of a 5th woman who decided to officially become part of this case. An investigation is ongoing, and officials are hoping that more victims will come forward. Benford's trial is scheduled to begin on December 7th. He's currently being held at the Vigo County Jail on $100,000 bond. It's not clear whether or not he had an attorney. And finally tonight, students in Indiana University's criminal justice program are getting the chance to put what they've learned to use in the real world. The program allows students to work as part-time police officers after graduating from the university's police academy. Participating students earn credit for their degree while helping to keep the campus safe. Officer Haley Shuzek graduated from the police academy last month. Her shifts start at Indiana University Police Department, where Sergeant Shannon Bunger briefs Shuzek and her colleagues about which areas of the campus they'll patrol. Shuzek says she loves everything about the profession, especially helping people and changing perceptions about police officers. She ultimately is hoping to become a homicide detective. All right, coming up after the break, another hot and dry forecast and more on the Daviess County Wine and Cheese Festival. We're back after this.